What I will say is GG How have continued to impress me in this event. I had no real expectation for them coming in. I did expect that they would probably be the dark horse, the 4th place team. But they've put up more of a contest than I had anticipated from them, especially against a team like Rare Atom. So I'm not going to count them out by any stretch of the imagination. Knife round, important. Who starts CT side, important. It's going to be Rare Atom. Let's see what GG How can do. Can they roll in with some of that confidence that they showed on Inferno T side and set a good total in this first half?
I'm wondering how much impact Davkos does have in towards this one, as being on a former roster that picked into Mirage, that they're being Spirit time and time again. How much does that translate into the current rendition of Mirage? Well, it's the exact same map. There's been no real changes, right? So a quick B-pop is what's going to be the one here. JamYoung to start us off. There is Davkos as well. You're going to start to see these rotations for Rare Atom happening from the guys at the A side. But everything right now is dwindling around. The shots for the CTs are wonderful, but Mestel is going to be bringing something back. They can get the bomb, and they can look for the plant.
Yeah, look, I think GG How, they might have just let one kill too many slip there. Advent on 2 HP gets away with a pretty illegal one on the player at bench, and it does make it doable for Rare Atom. Could have been a 3-on-2, but now it's a 2-on-2. Mercury and Kaze working their way in with armor, and neither Mestel or Davkos have any. Not that that's going to be a factor when the headshots are being connected. Davkos in the 1v1, and Mercury has no shortage of bullets to work with, so it will go his way. Tough one, though, for the remaining GG How members without any armor.
So many times in that round, it could have swung to both ways, right? You got Rare Atom starting off, JamYoung, a couple good shots in towards, Apartments dropping down in towards the side as well. Advent steps on up, and then you just have Mestel, you know, taking the round on his own, essentially. But by the end, you know, 3 versus 2 to 2 versus 2, and the players remaining for GG How, they don't have the Kevlar to assist them, even though everything comes out as headshots in the end. A big one for Rare Atom to be picking up. It makes it 3 from 3 pistols in the last 2 maps, including Mirage here.
I mean, and even going back to their game yesterday against Greyhound, the conversion rate was quite good.
For the pistols, but then the subsequent.
Oh, well, yeah, let's not talk about that. But their pistol work has actually been really good, Rare Atom, at this event. GG How, though, have decided to force buy into it with the Galils, Mac 10s, Deagle out there for MOREE.
Bit of a methodical one in towards this site, lots of utility, but it is a bit narrow focus. Pinpoint from Advent needs another one here for the reloads. Going to call upon Mercury to assist in this one, but it's Face Crack with that Mac 10 trying to lead in the charge for GG How.
Mosey's position in the sandwich, though, has been untouched thus far. Sorry, not in the sandwich, by the stairs. He's got a bit of an angle to see through that smoke, and GG How,
they've pulled the pin.
Yeah, they've sent it back over to T-Spawn. They've left Face Crack in Firebox, though, which I think is probably an unexpected position.
Oh, the timing.
He's all over it. He's got a big brain.
And Mosey's going to cordon them off as well. Cut them off. Here's the footsteps. Wait for the second member. There's the first one and the second. As good as you love it. 3 alive as well is going to help Rare Atom. Remember, GG How, they forced in. So here, they take an L.
Not going to have any money to buy into this one, GG How, so not really too much to say about it. I suppose the conversation really does have to shift to Rare Atom there and see how many guns can they take through from this round. Do they drop anything? Do they give up a bit of that economic advantage that they will get from the pistol?
Well, through the flames, look at that damage already. We'll see Advent, maybe Mercury fire up, but there's a Deagle shot at least coming through from MOREE. That's probably the only thing that they're going to take from it. Davkos says no to that one.
I don't think Mosey's getting there in time to upgrade that MP9, which is a little disappointing. No, he did.
Got it.
They buried it back to him by the looks of it. So, end of the day, they lose an MP9 and a FAMAS, and I don't think you're super disappointed by that.
No. Now you look towards the meat and potatoes of what the CT side is going to offer for Rare Atom now. And this is the one that you want to try and convert, right? When you finally got that big old gun round come from your opponents. What is the T side looking like for GG How? What conditioning are they going to be deploying towards us here? You know, we look towards the previous maps where in Ancient, they kept doing the same thing, right? A bit of that mid-control, you peel off towards one of the sides of the map. Very traditional style of Ancient that is very repeatable, come to a map like Mirage. They haven't really tempted over towards mid yet in the little subset of rounds that we have had so far. So I wonder for them, does it just go into more of that traditional default? Or does it look towards, you know, your execution style again, nice and early on?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we can't say at this point.
Yeah.
too many ifs and buts. Tech pause coming out. So we'll have a little bit of a time to chat about things and see where we're going to head. I mean, obviously, we've got another big matchup coming up later this afternoon as well. Greyhound and IHC taking each other on for a spot at Rio at the major.
Lots to prepare for coming in towards that one for the players, for certain.
Yeah, and I think as well for both of those two teams, they probably should be keeping an eye on this matchup because ultimately one of them is going to have to play the winner of this. I, in a way, almost kind of want to see Rare Atom and Greyhound get to play against one another again. It would mean Greyhound, you know, they do have to play again on Sunday, which I'm sure most of us here don't want to be seeing because we'd want to see them go straight through from this afternoon's match. But that was such a fun game yesterday, and I'd really like to see it again. But then again, I think Rare Atom and IHC would also be a really good match.
I reckon that'll be real fun.
IHC and Rare Atom, I don't think really tend to play against each other all that much. It's weird because it's kind of hard to get a bit of a read on Rare Atom. They're not one of those teams that tends to play in a lot of tournaments. They seem to try to split their focus more on the bigger qualifiers and, you know, those kinds of things rather than, like, there's an ESEA league within Asia and that kind of thing. You don't normally see Rare Atom playing in those kinds of events. So few and far between, you do get to see Rare Atom. But here they are right now, and they're fighting for survival, actually, against JJH. Another team that they're probably not super familiar with. But into the first gun round of Mirage, and this is going to be a big one for both teams to set the tempo.
Yeah, so this is what I was waiting for from JJH. What was their T-side looking like when they did have the guns up? And it's a little bit of that mid-focus to come out specifically from FaceCrack, but then everybody around the A side. It's got to be that contact play. Blue Phoenix gets on the board, and they've essentially just locked out Rare Atom from getting in towards the side of player advantage. They can get this bomb plant down. Mestel finds Kaze, a recipe for success.
Indeed. Mercury at the bottom of Connector can't get anything done against FaceCrack. Well, JJH have announced their arrival on Mirage, and in a stylish way. That is as clean as you're going to see it onto the A bomb site, and Rare Atom have a lot of thinking to do after that.
Yeah, their money, they'll be able to scrap together a purchase, specifically if they save these two guns as well. And very important for JJH to make sure that they're carrying everything over into the next round too. A little bit of an expedition from them to go from the hunt, but a contact play out A, winning your aim jewels. You know, it was something that they weren't really doing in the early stages over on Inferno. The aim jewels were being won by Rare Atom, so at least in this instance, going their way. She'll build a little bit of that confidence factor.
Yep, really good entry from Blue Phoenix and Mestel as well. Like, these are not super easy shots to be hitting. Great raw adjustment from FaceCrack too. They're on point, JJH. Rare Atom are using a tack timeout here. Discussing what can we buy? Do we buy?
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to get an AWP back in toward the picture as well. Advent technically does have the funds for it, but he would be dropping down onto some other things. You don't need a helmet, of course, on the CT side against AKs, so you can get some armor, get an M4 dropped over, little change of util.
I mean, I think if anything, you're probably going to see
M4.
An MP9 maybe dropped over to Advent. He seems to be the player that gets the SMG, if anything, but maybe they have enough cash to just go for the 5 rifles as well. Let's have a look. It's going to be the Scout in the end for Kaze. So no FAMAS, no MP9. I've said a few times that Kaze's been pretty handy with the Scout, but I don't really think I can back that up with the results that we've seen so far in this event.
Yeah. We've seen a bit of you know, tag damage and a finish here or there, but nothing to really make you rise out of your seat. This time for JJH, it's going to be quick over towards the B site. They are loving these rapid approaches in toward these locations, but it's MOREE and JamYoung to start to lock it down the bomb. That feels almost irretrievable at the moment, and it's just critical jewels being won by the CTs at the moment. Finally, one goes back to JJH, but is that the round done and dusted already?
Yeah, it's a good way of testing the defense on both bomb sites, isn't it? I think the first port of call is going to have to be, you need to be able to defend against our rushes. And if you can't do that, we're just going to keep playing fast and then keep catching you off guard. But at least in this instance for Rare Atom, they have been able to hold off on that B site quite comfortably, and now it's going to have to go back to something maybe a little bit more intelligent from JJH rather than speed. Speed is not the answer here, at least towards the B site.
Well, they haven't even really tested over towards mid, right? They've had a smoke towards top mid, a molly towards con, and then a fallback with that contact play out towards the A side. So I do feel, you know, of course, we've got a lot in the strat book for JJH to still be deploying in towards this one.
Yeah.
But I definitely do agree with you. Is it going to be something just a little bit more intelligent, a little bit more thought out? And this is certainly looking to be the case. They do get Mestel out in towards mid by himself, with everybody rotating back towards the A site. And it is an early smoke from Rare Adam as well to block any vision of Davkos progressing up through the palace.
There is a fair bit of presence from Rare Adam toward mid. Mosey on short was having a bit of a look in. Now he's in ladder room. You've still got a couple of players in con as well that can battle for control of mid, but ultimately it's going to be the A split that JJH is going to be looking for, and they've chosen, I suppose, what you could call the weakness. Kaze with just the scout.
A lot's going to be on toward Mestel, and he finds that opener as well. It's going to draw attention away from A, certainly so. Two massive openers for him. And you're looking towards Mercury to try and bring something back for the squad of Rare Adam. If it doesn't, or immediately shift in toward a save. Remember, Kaze does have the scout.
That's
Mercury,
huge.
these are the ones that we want to see come up from him. Now the teammates try and assist him. He does get taken down. His plant will look to be established for JJH. We'll see what they can do with a player up in the retake.
Kaze's got himself an M4 in the meanwhile as well. And look, it is definitely a winnable scenario. It depends, I think, largely on what Kaze can do here. Face crack. Not aware that Kaze's there because Davkos cleared it. But it ends up being a 1-for-1 anyway, and that leaves JamYoung alone against 2. He doesn't have a huge amount of time to work with, but Kit in tow. He's going to give him that extra 5 seconds. Needs to clear out Tetris. And it's a D bangle to be checking. He does manage to do so, and now expecting the player from Con as well, Davkos. He's got to peek again, and he can't get it done.
Wow.
JamYoung is just way too good, and the defuse is secured.
You got to give him props for that one, a 1 versus 2. Very, maybe lucky where the first player is playing a Tetris. If they tucked in towards A main, potentially could have been a different outcome in that one, but just navigating around the bomb site very, very well. I did notice a smoke over on towards short, a different world if he's able to pick that one up, but regardless, it's null and void right now. Some good entries from JJH, Jordan, but then it's just Rare Adam able to bring that one back from behind and just extend out their lead once more. Another gun round for JJH at least, lacking in this utility, but an opening frag, you'll definitely take that one.
That said, JJH had the opening frag last round. They had 2 opening frags.
This is true, yeah.
And they still didn't win the round. So it's nice, but it needs to be converted. And so far, Rare Adam are the only one that's getting any rounds right now. It's 5-1. It's starting to get a bit problematic for JJH. Like, I feel like it's been a contest. I feel like Mirage has been close, but the scoreline says otherwise.
Yeah. Back in towards mid for JJH, however. Just making sure there's no overzealousness from Rare Adam. No set plays to get back some control around the map at the moment. We just tick under the minute mark. You've got JamYoung by himself over at the B site, and the rest of the forces over towards A for Rare Adam, so the weaker, smaller site. If JJH had any read, would be the optimal solution, but he's going to test Rare Adam around this A site once more.
Yep.
See how they fare.
Well, Smoke's going to go in and really nullify the effectiveness of Kaze with that AWP, and as a result, you can see JJH get in pretty comfortably this time. JamYoung can't do it again, can he?
Oh.
3-on-1. He's got 7 kills, 1 death so far for the map.
Going to see face crack potentially be the first contact, just down to timing. I think that's going to be the deal sealer, however, that's the save call.
Yep, which is fair enough as well from JamYoung. Wouldn't really want to be seeing him go for that one. Loss bonus is not going to be there for Rare Atom, but Kaze has a bit of money in the back pocket. Not sure that we'll be seeing too much behind this next round from Rare Atom. Maybe just a pistol or 2 to complement what JamYoung's going to be able to bring in. But they're going to have to take another save if they want to get a proper buy through.
That's twice now going through mid has worked out, you know, relatively successful, rather. This time getting the round conversion, last time getting very close before JamYoung's affairs gets the better of them. And as you do make mention to as well, the money situation for Rare Adam at the moment, not looking too crash hot, so a timeout called.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the full buy, or as much of a full buy as you can get from Rare Atom with the money they had. Kaze's gone into the AWP. MOREE, Mercury, and Advent will pretty much just have to go down to whatever they can get at this point. And then Rare Atom will take another save next round. Should they lose?
Yeah. Definitely a time for JJH to capitalize, however. You know, you get your third round on the board comfortably here. You have a little bit of cash to spare going into the next. Hopefully you have all 5 players up. Maybe by chance you don't even contend with the AWP in this round for what Kaze does have, and you're able to get a clean one if you force him to save. You know, a similar situation by given that Rare Atom's loss bonus is not there. Comes a hero gun in the next.
Deagle's still dangerous in the hands of Rare Atom. Particularly MOREE and Mercury, I feel, have been quite impressive with those so far this weekend. Kaze spotted a player out in Palace. Just a timing shot from him. It's not going to connect this time, and JJH, once again, they're going to try to barrel through the door of the A bomb site. Looks to have gone quite well for them. There's nothing for the defense for Rare Atom. They're just stuck behind smoke.
I do like this cheeky boost.
Ooh.
It's netted a reward as well. Kaze on towards face crack. That's the rotation time as the bomb plant does go down. Do you just throw everything at this one? If you are Rare Atom, try to find another pick. Establish your way back in.
Well, if that's what you're going to do, then you've started it off well. Kind of be needing to get that first frag and then trading it down when you have a buy like this. Mercury, MOREE combining. They haven't been able to deal with Mestel in apartment or in Palace, but the wraparound is kind of leaving Mestel the only one on the site right now. Rare Atom on the
JamYoung's got the kit.
MOREE, he wants to spam through and he's got it. Just in time, it's a big win.
JamYoung's the one with the kit and he's playing in stairs, the furthest position away from the bomb. If he's just a little bit closer, if their positions are switched, it could be a different end to the round for Rare Atom.
Well, it was a desperate round, really, for Rare Atom, wasn't it? And they very nearly did do enough. So close yet so far, and now Rare Atom are going to have to think about the save again. JamYoung was able to take the AWP through. There's a little bit to play with there, but it is JJH's way back into this map.
Most definitely. Again, you know, you're always going to realize a situation like this, counting economy of your opponents. We saw it in the previous maps from JJH. They do like to go down on towards these Mac 10s as well. Get value out of your utility. Again, you know, a similar sort of copy and paste in terms of try to dodge the AWP that JamYoung has taken in towards this round. It's going to be positioned over towards the B side. Is it going to be a quick peek into apps, however? Do they go for that jump up? As JJH, they are stampeding in towards the apartments right now. JamYoung, what does he get? One, drops for the second.
Needs to get more than just the one. He's the only player with a weapon in this round. Kaze down to 9 HP already. What's going on at bench? Face crack has cracked open the bomb site with the Mac 10. Looks like JamYoung missed the second shot, and for that he was punished, and so too was Rare Atom. So they're out of this round. He was in the right spot, right place, right time, but wasn't able to execute on that. And JJH will go to 4. Feels like it's going to be a tight map, going to be a close one.
Yeah, if these rounds that, you know, JJH just reset that economy of Rare Atom, force them into a little bit of this pistol action, can certainly be a very tight scoreline. You know, you're looking at an 8 to 7 half potentially if it does keep going that way. But then again, all it takes is, you know, one big swing for Rare Atom, and you know that they can potentially run away with it. They'll have guns coming up in toward the next round, but I'm looking towards the money for them. And there's going to be a little bit of lacking utility. There you go. That's the missed AWP shots with how that one turned out for face crack. I can't believe he's Superman on towards Kaze for the first one, though.
Take a look back at the historical results for these two teams, and they're both very heavily CT-sided on the map. So looking at it as it stands, 5-4, doesn't look too bad for JJH. They can kind of maintain this pace and get an 8-7. I think that's more than good enough to win the map from. Rare Atom probably do need to accelerate a little bit on this CT side. Money's still a bit of an issue for them. They don't have the AWP out in this round, but they do have the opening pick.
JamYoung going to be tested here, good for one, before being traded out. Now you look towards MOREE. What can he do at short? There's a gap in the smoke that he can look to exploit at the moment. Remember, Rare Atom, they're holding player advantage, but that's quickly taken on back. Get this bomb plant down. You know where the remaining RA players are coming from. No kits currently, a little bit of utility, a prime position for JJH to be able to equalize at the moment. But if you're walking towards Davkos, you're going to cement yourself the death location in the grave. There goes Advent, and now all on to Kaze for the 1 versus 3. Starts it off with the first one, but Davkos gets the trade, and now we are tied up, 5 apiece.
Damn, these JJH guys are pretty sharp. Some of these shots that they're hitting, you know, it's kind of similar to what we saw from Rare Atom yesterday, like just some insane shots coming out. And as you say, we're at 5 apiece. We're not going to be there for much longer. JJH are going to start to go storming through this T side. Money's broken for Rare Atom once again. And JJH, I think this is where they can really solidify themselves in the map. If they have a good passage of play here, they can send Rare Atom packing. They can go through to tomorrow, and Rare Atom can go home.
Maybe a little bit early to call. However, that's the same that can be said the other way, right? This is that elimination match for those that may just be joining us. Loser is going home. Your chance at a major run taken away from you. And in a series so far with 2 very strong maps from both of these teams, this is where it does come down to in the end. And FaceCrack will manage to find the opener in towards the B site here.
Yeah, look, not much in this one for Rare Atom. Double setup in the A ramp. Doesn't end up resulting in too much. JJH are just being a little too methodical. Good shots from MOREE, but yeah, I mean, even if Mercury gets that kill, it's still going to end up being a 2-on-3.
Yeah.
And JJH just working through it so nicely on this T side. It's nothing explosive or fancy, really.
Well, except maybe a couple of those B rushes.
A couple of the good shots coming through have been nice, and yeah, the B rushes, but by and large, it's pretty solid stuff. Hasn't felt like they've needed to rely on clutches or individual prowess. Just getting through these rounds exactly the way you'd like to.
It really does force Rare Atom into a corner as well. 6 rounds on the T side now for JJH. Maybe even that converts into another one. As MOREE will take this AK into the next round. What is the rest of the team going to be looking to purchase up? You know, you're a couple of rounds away from resetting JJH's economy as well, so you still have to contest with all the guns. You still have to make sure that you're aware of your own money situation to not be seeing yourselves in these situations time and time again. It's the second pistol round for Rare Atom where they don't really get anything happening.
Another bite to come from Rare Atom in this round. And this is going to have to be the round where they answer. If they don't, it starts to get out of control. And then you're asking probably a bit too much of your T side. Kaze has the AWP. Everyone has a rifle. There's good util across the board. Now or never for Rare Atom.
And what does JJH look to go back towards? Still sending FaceCrack over towards mid with a little bit of that utility. Davkos on the line. No AWP challenge given to him just yet. The rest of JJH spreading around the A side of things. We haven't really seen Rare Atom go for a close AWP play for this one, and they're rewarded for it. Kaze, you mentioned that AWP. The first opener unanswered. And it'll look to continue that way as well. As JJH start to peel away.
It's exactly how you need to be starting this round as Rare Atom, but they've also got to ensure that they get the next frag as well. JJH have been really good in the 4-on-4s, the 3-on-3s. Numbers advantages more important now than ever for Rare Atom, not only because they want to be winning these rounds, but they want to be winning these rounds cleanly, building that CT money back up.
Look how spread JJH are at the moment as well, setting themselves up. Waiting to see what Davkos can do over in mid. MOREE to throw, or rather, it was FaceCrack. Very slow one.
Yeah, I mean, this has been fairly standard from JJH, right? Get that early sort of fight and then slow things down and try to win out effectively in the late round. That's what they're doing now. Advent somehow is still alive. He's got 2. Mestel and FaceCrack are going to be kicking themselves because he was out on offer. But they haven't done enough this time, JJH. Time is getting a factor.
They've timed themselves out, essentially. Davkos is good for the frag on towards MOREE in mid, but by that time, you know, it was very slow to get through towards unders. Always going to be a challenge when you do have an AWP in that location as well. And you were mentioning, you know, for Rare Atom to win these rounds cleanly, it's clean in terms of having numbers up, right? 4 alive, you only need to be getting a gun back in towards MOREE's hands. You can get all your utility. But you do look towards another round where JJH do have the guns up.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like at this point, JJH, they're going to be going at every single round left in this half because they know they're kind of on that teetering point. If they can get even one more round, then maybe they've gone above par. Maybe 6 is par. I'm going to give 6 as par, I think, for this series, just because both teams are a little bit better on the CT side. So Rare Atom still kind of need to have a perfect half. Davkos, there was a chance.
There was a challenge, but it's not going to go their way, and that's going to cause Rare Atom to start to peek up toward the B side for a little bit, that one. MOREE giving up short. Have an inkling that potentially something is going to be happening over toward there, but again, you know, JJH starting to spread out. Starting to get a little bit of control towards unders. Going to re-smoke towards mid-window. Actually toward unders itself.
Yep. Kaze just going to be watching mid with that AWP, and he'll have a pretty big job in this round, it seems. Smoke has gone into his position, though.
There's no smokes, or rather one for Blue Phoenix now. As that mid-window smoke, I believe, the one that landed in the bottom of unders.
Nicely timed nade from MOREE. It sort of indicates that Rare Atom are aware JJH is lurking around in mid. Kaze's rotated his position as well toward Ticket, so it's going to be an extra player on the A bomb site already, though. FaceCrack able to open the account. Mercury very, very concerned about Palace, and Kaze can't hit the first shot, but Mercury finds a double. Kaze again, another missed opportunity. As Davkos strikes onto JamYoung, they're going to try and deny the bomb plant. That's a mistake. Mestel covers off nicely. And Kaze is left in the 1-on-3. Won't be able to do anything about it, you'd think. Flash goes through. Trade is there as well. Great round from JJH. And they're back into the swing of things. They're back in the lead. They're back putting that pressure on Rare Atom.
There was some really great protection to actually come out from them as well. You got 4 players looking to come in toward the A site from mid. You do leave one, and that damage does come through as well. Davkos just looking after anyone that could potentially get them from when they do get the plant down. They've got the contingencies in place as well, but everyone that needed to hit their shots for JJH hits them. A round goes back their way, and for Rare Atom now, they do go in for the purchase in round number 14, and it's of a different variety, a different look. It's a double AWP setup, and you've got JamYoung down on towards an MP9. Really going to be reliant upon an opening frag here in this one.
Yeah. Advent under balcony. Under a lot of pressure now that Kaze's missed that shot. Kaze's down to 7 as well. Advent on fire. This is not looking good for Rare Atom until Mercury strikes. No trade flag just yet through from JJH. But this could be the nail in the coffin for Rare Atom. Not only would their money be absolutely cooked next round, but they'd also be down 8 rounds to the T side of JJH. That said, the frags are coming through for the CTs, and JJH have kind of stalled up.
Rare Atom have locked them out of this site. You're going to see the last tailwind of this utility start to go in right now, but apart from that, you know, you still got 4 members. You can say 3 with Mercury just looking after towards mid, but that's a good way to get back in towards this round. 50 seconds to play.
Still got a lot of time to work with here, JJH, and MOREE has claimed Advent as well. We're back to a 3-on-3, even numbers scenario. MOREE worked his way into short, has got an AWP to defend with. It's a double AWP defense right now. And just Mercury with the rifle, who falls as well. This is horrible news for Rare Atom. Kaze down as well, and it's just MOREE who has to clutch now against JJH in the worst circumstances. MOREE behind him. That is a horrible round for Rare Atom to be losing. And JJH are now well and truly in control of the map.
There is no money for Rare Atom coming in toward this last round. That one had to go for them. And of course, for JJH, even if they did lose, they still have the purchase to come in strong in towards this round. It could potentially be a 9-6 half favoring JJH's T side. And then you also look towards CT. It's the side that in history is stronger. We've seen it throughout the course of this, but both of these teams, you know, they've had strong T sides today.
Sure. JamYoung trying to settle the score in mid. Not able to land as many bullets as he needs to. Davkos down to 41 HP. Still a threat with the orb.
Bit of silence at the moment. MOREE going to get a bit of an info peek on towards Blue Phoenix, and this is something that we haven't really seen. JamYoung did fall off his post down towards unders, but will Face Crack be ready for it? Will he shoulder him out? The answer is no. And JamYoung's going to keep holding W.
Well, ends up being his last mistake of the first half. Gets a bit of info that there's another player over toward the B side of the map, but ends up resulting in a 1-for-1, which is not ideal for Rare Atom, and we've seen how JJH can really dig themselves out of the situations in mid-rounds.
Vestal, he's just won that duel against Advent, walking out A main. No one protecting him either. Player advantage for JJH, and you got to see Mercury try and hold down this one with Kaze. As a scout and a Famis, you lose MOREE. Well, there is a bit of damage. Kaze, Mercury, the damage is coming through. Blue Phoenix for the 1v1, and Kaze gets a tag. It's just a bullet each, and it's Kaze to get it. How have they brought that back?
You're kidding me. How have they won that? I called it over, and it wasn't, apparently. Rare Atom, they're not dead yet. It's 8-7 favoring JJH at the half.
This world is slowing down. How can I fight it? How can I listen when there's no sound? Oh, the wolves are out. Yes, the wolves are out. Hold on to what you found. Days that are searing. My head is spinning round. Oh, I hear now. Yes, the wolves are out. Inside of our reality. Satellites singing serenity. Send out a signal, please remember me. Send out a signal, come and set me free.
Well, it is as close as can be right now between Rare Atom and JJH as we head into the second half of the final map in this elimination match, the IEM Road to Rio. our first team getting eliminated in the next 30 minutes or so. Not sure which team it will be just yet, but I have to say, I think JJH did very well on their T side to get the rounds they did, and it's put Rare Atom into an interesting spot where they now have to respond in kind.
Well, historically, these teams have had CT strengths coming in toward this one, but today, it's the T side that has really propelled them very far. And with a quick lineup for Rare Atom, it looks like we're going to be straight in towards the A side. Blue Phoenix playing CT. Davkos going to be playing over the back of the window.
Yep.
But it's just the smokes and a potential aggression in towards CT if Advent wants to throw that flash their way.
All important pistol on offer for both teams right now. Rare Atom are getting into that A bomb site, as you've said, getting the plant down, but it's a very fast wrap in through T spawn from the CT side. They've got face crack there already. Mosey's want to fight in mid, but are they prepared for a player from ramp? The answer is no, and the numbers are back to 4-on-4.
Very big open plant though, Jordan.
It is. But JJH starting to pull ahead in terms of the players available to them. Spam in. It's a problem for Rare Atom. The bomb! The defuse has gone through. Rare Atom, what has happened here? JamYoung is trying to get any cash he can out of the round. That's a bad one to lose for Rare Atom and a big call.
Smoke at a flash. You got 3 players alive on both sides, and the call is just to stick it, and why not, right?
Well, JamYoung did what he could, but just no shots coming through the smoke that connected, apparently. And Rare Atom are going to have to force straight in. Galil's in hand, not too much util here to play with at all already. A bit of a tag onto Mercury as he crosses into mid.
Not too much utility here for Rare Atom. They've still got 2 smokes, 2 flashes, and a molly. But if you do position anything else towards mid, it kind of takes away from your objective that is seemingly over towards the A side at the moment. Smoke at the top of ramp will start to fade. JJH, they do start to progress forward as well. Got the spot over towards CT. You got face cracking connector. So it's just very, default basic Mirage at the moment from both of these teams.
Mosey, was he spotted there by face crack? I have to imagine so. Mestel has worked his way up short. There was definitely some comms there from JJH. Rare Atom won't be getting away with that cheeky one. Now it's Kaze's turn to have a bit of a crack. Mercury's down as well. It's 3-on-5. Need to see some magic from Rare Atom, similar to what we got from JJH, pulling back numbers deficits on the A bomb site. It's a tough ask. Advent's now dropped as well. It's just one by one. The soldiers of Rare Atom falling. And JJH are up to double digits now.
Yep, the pistol is secured from them in a way that Rare Atom are not happy with, and then they go for the force up and also drop the subsequent round. So it just feels like you're pushing them down a little bit further, make things a little bit harder for Rare Atom from here.
Yep, not looking good if you're a Rare Atom fan right now. They'll have to take a save and most likely give JJH their 11th. Bit of an effort to come back from that, but they're on the T side. So at least the economic pressure isn't going to be something that will hugely influence their campaign in this half.
There's the info. MOREE, this MP9 can start to sing with Mestel as well on the AK-47. It is a quick cleanup. It is just these eco frags as well, mind you.
Wow,
and it's 500 HP across the board into the end as well.
I'll tell you what, that looks decisive from JJH.
Yep. 5 rounds the difference now. You will finally get another purchase come in from Rare Atom, and this has to be the one to go their way. It's been a bit of an effort by committee so far from JJH. You got 3 players very close in the kill department. You got MOREE just a little bit behind, but he still pulled his weight where needed. Now a tactical timeout to come in from Rare Atom. It's their 3rd really being forced to have discussions in this series.
Yeah, they are. Has not been the event that Rare Atom would have hoped, I don't think. And now their tournament lives are on the line. Having a look through the strat book. Advent having a bit of a chat there. You can see him in the middle, letting the lads know what needs to be done. It's AKs across the board. They're going to have to strike soon.
Take a sigh of relief. Breath of fresh air. Rare Atom fans, this is the time to rally behind your squad, see what they've got for their T side. Once they do finally have all these guns in their possession, it's going to be going out through towards mid. Meanwhile, JJH, majority of their forces over towards the B side of things, going for a bit of a quick one up through short, a bit of a good peek. Advent's going to be by himself. Good for the opener as well. A second would be absolutely gorgeous for the rest of his squad. You know, they're just leaving him out to dry for a little bit.
Need to be seeing a little bit more of that. Like, where's the X factor from where we're at him at the moment? Doesn't really seem to be popping up all that much. It's a good connection from Advent. But it won't necessarily result in the round win. JJH on this map in particular have been really good at a numbers deficit.
There's a minute 10 to go on the clock, and there's barely any utility from JJH at the moment. A smoke got a flash on Blue Phoenix, and then Davkos with a HE grenade.
Gonna have to try to get a bit aggressive on that CT side then, and they've done it straight into apartments. Setting up MOREE on that line. It's kind of given a little bit more room for Mestel to work with, but it does leave short open, and that may well be the avenue of attack for Rare Atom. Is this the right call from JJH?
MOREE really needs to get everything here, doesn't he? If he drops the bomb in apartments, that's the way to wait for your teammates to get back up here. JamYoung is going to fall to that one, and now Kaze, he's going to have an isolated duel against MOREE, who doubles down. Caught in reload, though.
Yep.
Now the rotation does start to happen. 3 versus 3. Mosey, if he finds the right timing, he could get them in the back with Mestel. He's just going to go in towards the site. What is this?
If he finds the wrong timing, though, he could leave the players on B high and dry in a 2-on-2. He is still waiting on A, and JJH,
they're rotating the bomb
they've
there.
gone all the way to B. Rare Atom decides they want to go A. It's classic Rare Atom fashion, isn't it? We saw them do that a lot yesterday on Vertigo against Greyhound. Open plant here for Kaze. But we are back to just the pairs on either side. And now it's just a solo for Rare Atom. JJH are rotating so quickly. Mosey,
he's going to hear it. That's a big one as well. But he doesn't know that Blue Phoenix is also at the same location. Starts to step on up.
Bit of noise maybe being made by that CT. Mosey will wait. The shots go through the box. And JJH will win.
They've done it again. 3 versus 2 scenario that is favoring Rare Atom. They make the decision to go towards the A site. And from there on out, it is just those fights that go JJH's way.
I'd love to see that from the JJH perspective. What did he see?
Big from MOREE as well to remember.
Yep.
Beginning of this round, he'd been a little bit silent throughout the course of this one.
Fact he's got the double there has kind of saved the round for JJH, to be honest.
That is yucky.
Yeah, barely even see him. 12-7. So the job gets more difficult for Rare Atom.
It is the buy-in for the T's. Bit of utility to work around. You're really reliant upon your Angel here. What crossfires can you establish? What trades can you try and get where you come out on top of those? Again, JJH, they have showcased to us too that they do like to use a lot of this utility early on in these rounds. Here, nothing else is different.
Slow and steady wins the race for Rare Atom in this round. They start to have a bit of a look into the A bomb site. They've got 2 in mid. That's a molly that's gone a little awry. And the opener again for Rare Atom. I mean, they've been good at finding openings, but they haven't been good at converting. Davkos still a threat. AWP in hand, dealt with. Rare Atom, they're not quite into the A site just yet. There's still players there. And finally, it feels as though Rare Atom is going to get around over the line. Blue Phoenix goes down, and somehow everyone on Rare Atom survives.
That's a bit of an interesting one. I did mention that they need to win their individual duels, and if everyone's doing so, then you're right as rain.
Yep.
Finally, a round goes to the way of Rare Atom, however. And it is just the start of this journey. You know, you got to remember this is an elimination match. Puts a little bit more pressure in towards the server. The buy for JJH now. They are the ones that are feeling a bit of that blow. Down to the pistols. Blue Phoenix, the only one with an upgrade. You can really call it that over the Deagle, the MP9. Left to his own devices at the A site.
Well, definitely wouldn't want to be seeing Rare Atom drop this round. And luckily for Mosey, he is watching for the push of MOREE. Really reserved playstyle in this one from Rare Atom. Just not wanting to give any inch against the Pistols. They set up default watch for the pushes. They've been rewarded for that. Now it's their turn to start getting a bit of a wriggle on. Can FaceCrack find the timing?
If he doesn't find the timing, you can hear the footsteps of the players running around top mid. Doesn't really give you an indication, however, if anything that is quite happening. They start to move their forces towards the B site. Remember, JamYoung hasn't spotted anything towards Palace, no push. If things do come back towards the A side for Rare Adam, they definitely will have dodged everything that JJ H throws at them in this round. However, they are starting to also progress Kaze up towards this B site. See if he can hold on to this AK at least.
They love this playstyle, don't they, Rare Atom? Playing so slow in the round, waiting until they get the info. And now Kaze's starting to find frags on B. It hasn't brought the bomb anywhere just yet. It is staying stagnant in connector. Kaze thinks he's cleared out B. He hasn't. But eventually with that information, Rare Atom decide to go A. They do really love hedging their bets late in the round, don't they? Send a player to either bomb site, see who can get a bit of work done, and then rotate the bomb accordingly. And I feel like sometimes they do get a little bit too tricky for themselves and kind of make the round a little bit more difficult than it needs to be. But this one is going to be secured. AK in the hands of Davkos, though. A little bit of an upgrade there for GG Hal.
Yeah, slowly but surely, Rare Adam can start to rack up a couple of T-sided rounds. They will face up against another buy of GG How next, but if they can convert that one, you start to look toward the realm of, trying to tie the scoreline, potentially take over. T-sides today have been very explosive.
Yeah.
And the rounds that have been slow, they've been very thought out when you don't time yourself out in the little occasions we have had. But
what a setup, though, for today's games. We've got a 3-mapper already, and it's getting quite close between Rare Atom and GG How. And, of course, we've got IHC and Greyhound coming up next as well. So if you're a fan of Counter-Strike, you are in for a pretty good day.
Let's see what GG How have to throw in toward this round. AWP for Davkos, the double deployment in toward mid. You also do have that AWP up towards the top of connector. But all that utility thrown so far is going to dissuade anything happening from mid for the moment. It's a cheeky spot from Mestel.
Yeah, but again, just look at how split Rare Atom are. They don't ever, it feels like, full commit to on site. They've always got a bit of an insurance fund or someone sneaking around. This time, a couple of smokes go through onto the A bomb side. It feels like more of a fake than anything else.
Yeah, but then the players unders are still looking to come towards the A side too. It's just going to be an element of timing right now. What can Davkos do here? What can Mestel find on his little lurkabout? Yeah,
Rare Atom are trying to find GG How on the rotation. They're not being given any luck in that respect. Advent and Mercury trying to work through mid. Davkos could well go down to Advent here for the trade, but
look at Mercury.
There's a big wrap in through T-Spawn, and it's a timing factor. Mercury does catch his man eventually, and that's going to allow Rare Atom to start speeding up into the bomb site. Mosey's found that timing onto Mestel, who was a little bit too slow. Blue Phoenix, he needs to hold from Ticket, and Mercury's jumped. Blue Phoenix has got a double. Kaze starts to plant the bomb. It can't happen.
I wonder what happened with JamYoung there. He had an eye on towards Ticket Booth the whole time, but didn't spot him. Potential on the 4-3, maybe. This is a round that should have been Rare Adams by positioning, by frags. And now in the 1 versus 2 for Mosey.
Doesn't have
He's got
time.
20 seconds to get the bomb in the middle of the open that FaceCrack already has a line of sight on. Needs to win this duel. Doesn't happen. FaceCrack closes, and GG How, they get that round back.
One step closer for GG How, and one step backward for Rare Atom. It was looking like a really good round for them, but then they just can't dislodge the player at Ticket. Mercury goes for the jump on in, and then JamYoung can't trade him. Falls apart in the late round again for Rare Atom. It was a problem in the first half. It continues to be a problem in the second half. And GG How, they are starting to taste that victory. 3 rounds away.
Mosey's quickened towards the apartments in this one. He's going to have a lot of utility thrown his way, however, down to 50 already. But that's going to be go time for Rare Atom. They want a quick one into this B site. Mestel already here. He's got the cavalry in the form.
Yeah, Flash connects, but so does Mestel, so it doesn't really matter in the end. And he's got himself another one. Rare Atom, what is going on? No entries onto the B bomb site. MOREE sets himself up, waits patiently for the push. Molly's going to push him forward a little bit, but Rare Atom have completely stalled.
And JamYoung in connector, he's going to lose his life to Davcost as well. So where the action on Tuing in the B side, it's just everything coming up for JJH. Kaze good for one. It's 14 found for the CTs.
It's getting worse and worse, isn't it? Rare Atom, they're getting cleaned up in these rounds. And this is now where it all comes to a head.
Yep.
We've been saying it's do or die, last-ditch efforts. Well, you've got 2 rounds left to play with Rare Atom, so if there is anything to pull out, it's now.
Just wondering, I believe they've got 1 timeout still behind them.
I think so.
Do you deploy it in the next round if this one does, you know, not go your way, even if it does go your way? Have that last late conversation.
Well, I wonder if there's anything left to say at this point. They've tried so much in this half and not had much success at all. We really did highlight CT side favor for both these teams historically, and JJH is proving exactly that. Rare Atom only have a couple of rounds on their T side so far, and they haven't looked like they've been comfortable rounds, really. One of them, maybe. But
yeah, only the 2 rounds that they've gotten via those gun rounds, and even then, right, JJH, they were still okay with their economy. Setting up around the B side, however, this is going to be a big test for MOREE once again. And for Mestel, over at short, smoked off. You get in front of it. 50 seconds.
Tense times for Rare Atom. 4 of them coming through the apartments. MOREE waiting for them. He's been really good. Really, really good today. And again, a solid opening frag. Rare Atom, nothing is going their way. It's the double setup. Mestel on short, causing a bit of a problem. MOREE changes up his position, gets another. They want to put themselves onto series point. Advent prevents it for the moment. This is a big fight as well, and JamYoung goes down.
They've read him again. He keeps doing this flanking play. That's 2 rounds in a row that it doesn't work on out, and it's a big detriment to Rare Atom. Advent now has to protect Kaze, who goes for the plant.
Plan is going to be secured. JJH will allow that much, but Davcost catches Kaze on the way out, and that is clean again. JJH now 1 round away from knocking Rare Atom out in last place at the IEM Road to Rio, Asia.
Don't think a lot of people would have had that one as the guess on how things would turn out.
Not me.
No.
Series point, you can see it right there. It feels too little too late now for Rare Atom. If anything was going to happen, you'd have to think it should have come last round. But is there a world where they can dig deep, go one better, bring this back to the overtime? Happened to them yesterday. Greyhound were able to hang on Vertigo, get it into overtime, force them down into the lower bracket, and look where we found ourselves. Rare Atom was 1 round away from the upper bracket, and now they're 1 round away from being knocked out of the tournament.
Just the duality of those situations mentioned there really goes to just showcase, you know, resilience, experience, what the love of Counter-Strike is, and just how fickle it can be. This round, everything for Rare Atom to hold on. For JJH as well, you know, a big statement for them, knocking out Rare Atom too.
Yep. One of the best teams from the Asian region over the last couple of years. And JJH is making them their plaything. Face crack, perfect position here. Mosey does get inside of that smoke. Will it fade favorably though? Don't think so. He looks at the wall, they know, they don't know. Mosey, not quite for the double. That's a no-scope. Davcost still keeps it alive, can't land the shot, but falls. And Rare Atom, they are fighting. They are trying their best to stay alive. Mestel under pressure. Hits the shot onto Advent, and it's JamYoung. JamYoung up against Mestel in the 1v1, a battle we've seen on mid time and time again, and now in the clutch.
A single bullet from both of these players can do it to keep Rare Atom holding on, to end it. For JJH to get the win. JamYoung tucks himself in.
Playing it as patiently as he can. And Mestel already making good ground on the bomb site.
It's not planning for JamYoung.
Major hopes and dreams on the line right now for Rare Atom, and JamYoung keeps it alive.
Whew, you take a sigh on that one. You're not out just yet. Rare Atom Make mention there, it's not planned for JamYoung, but that's all the mind games in that situation.
Yep.
Bates Mestel to look the wrong way.
Well, is that going to be a similar moment for JJH as to what the Alistair clutch was or the Inns clutch was for Rare Atom yesterday, the one that they're going to be thinking about overnight and saying if we would have just won that, that was the map.
Yep.
Rare Atom still alive. 5 rounds to get now in a road to secure overtime. If they could do that, you would almost favor them then in the OT. But
remember,
getting there is tough.
They got 9 in a row if you throw it back towards Ancient.
Different circumstances.
Certainly so.
Still GG has to lose. But money will be a bit of a factor in this as well. Starting to deplete for the CT side. They've only got 1,900 loss bonus. So Rare Atom, if they were able to win this one, they probably should be able to get through the next one as well. Bring it up to 12-15, which still leaves a lot to do.
Yeah, you still don't see the light at the end of the tunnel at a 12-15 scoreline. You have to get it in. And that is a good start for Rare Atom, at least here.
Yep. Seeing maybe some shakiness for JJH. Are they faltering a little bit? The nerves getting to them. Davkos has been pretty sublime, actually, today. But missing that shot, giving up his life at the start of this round. Rare Atom will feel that they are in with a chance.
Most of JJH's forces over towards this A site. If they can segregate one of them out. Mestel wasn't spotted before the Blossom that spoke, but the feet give it away, and that's go time for Rare Atom to start to get in towards this A site. You're going to have a fallback from Face Crack. Rated at least, but he's got to escape. The challenges are being won by JJH. This might actually be it. The bomb in a very sticky position. MOREE for that. And now it's just on to Advent. Nowhere near the action.
It's fallen apart for Rare Atom. That was their round to lose, and they might well lose it. It's Advent, as you say, 1-on-2. Galil in hand. He's got a long rotate to make. Doesn't have the bomb. The odds are against him. Well and truly. And MOREE and Blue Phoenix, they've got behind him. 16 on the board for JJH. And it's time for Rare Atom to go home. Knocked out in last place at the IEM Road to Rio, Asia. And JJH have done it for their region. The Middle Eastern qualifier was where they came from. It was an underrepresented region, a region we didn't expect anything from. And they have taken down the Titans from China.
Certainly turned some heads here.